You hear that sound, men? That is the sound of the Imperial March as the French army marches into battle once again in another NTW3 historical battle for you here today. And today we have the Battle of the Gohrde, a battle fought in 1813. Not what I know much about, and I feel like I know a lot of these battles that Napoleon wars. I studied it quite a bit. Not what I knew about at all, but it's one that is a pretty minor battle. It's part of the Hanoverian sort of campaign at the time of the 1813 Sixth Coalition, and it's While there's all the excitement going on around like Leipzig, Lutz and Bautzen, and all of those, this battle is taking place in Hanover as parts of Hanover are already decided to sort of rebel against Napoleon's rule. And Hamburg is where Davout is actually holed up in with about 20,000 French troops, and he is sort of trying to hold on to that key German city for Napoleon, as it's a big sort of supply depot, and also if you take Hamburg, you kind of can then start to go into the Low Countries and then into France itself. But yeah, so an important city that needs to be held. But this is the Battle of the Gohrde. It's not fought by Davout, in fact. It's fought by a chap called Mark Nicholas Louis Pechoux against Ludwig von Walmoden Giborn. What a long name for both sides there, both commanders have. It's a battle for the Allies has Prussians, Russians, UK and Hanover there. I think the UK is pretty much just made up of the rocket troop. I don't think they actually, and like some KGL, sort of like units, but my gosh, do we have a lot of redcoats in this one. It kind of makes it a slight in historical. They are using 7-point hill in this battle, which is 1815. So they kind of force spring some Brits if they want to actually have a full complement of use all their money. But they do have plenty of the Hanoverian infantry here as well. Here, all the Hanoverian landwehr also being used. So slight ahistorical, I would say. But we have got plenty of Prussians over here as well. We have Bülow, 7-point 1814. And then we have two theatres of war, I believe, for Prussia as well. I think they're 1814, both of these. We have got like the Russian Legion, or in the Prussian army, or it's the German Legion in the Russian army. I can never really remember which way around it is. But we have got Russians here as well, as you can see these bad boys in action. So yeah, they do look damn gorgeous, that is for sure. But we have got a whole bunch of other like minor factions here as well. I think we've got Mecklenburger here as well, and also a whole bunch of other troops as well. But yeah, as you can see, there are Prussians getting ready to get into action. But yeah, the Frenchies are ready to go. I'm very much looking forward to seeing how this one goes down. We do have two 9-point Frances. We have 9-point Flanders over here, and then we have 5-point Mouton as well. So we do have again a mixture of theatre of war and corps for this scenario. But yeah, we've got two 5-point Moutons. I think both are on this flank actually over here. I think the other one's just about arriving as well here. Yeah, it's just in this forest actually back here at the moment. And then we have a 9-point over here, and then a 9-point over here as well. Certainly 9-point Flanders. We weren't allowed to bring Göhrde because the Göhrde were not here. They were busy in, well, sort of with Napoleon. As we have some French cav going in there, some Chevalier Lancers. They were trying to go in for the gun. This is my little move. It didn't really go as expected, but I'm trying to get this a horse gun here of the Brits as the Lancers go in there. And they are going to start slicing and dicing those bad boys. And they're not doing too bad a job there, that's for sure. So yeah, not too bad. Did both rout, but maybe it was worth it in the end. We'll see. As the Prussians there sort of clear off those Chevaliers. But both of these units are pretty large and should return if given the chance, that's for sure. Yeah, in history, this battle is a Allied victory. No surprise, because the Allies have about 4 times the amount of troops that the French have. They have 12,200 troops and like 6 times the guns. They have 38 guns, while the French have 6 guns and 3,000 troops. So yeah, vastly outnumbered of the French. And I believe in history, this is a French assault, because the French are sort of like attacking a position known as like the Steinker Heights, I believe. Sort of like there. That's where they're kind of fighting. But in this scenario, we've got the Allies having to like fight over a 3-point over here. So this is the main objective. This farmhouse here. This is what's going to be taken. Spoiler alert: not a lot of fighting is going to go on around here. There's going to be a lot of fighting around the house, but nothing is going to really happen with the house really inside. So it might end just being a battle of the death match. Really, brilliant volley there from the French artillery as they try to bail after getting a decent volley off there against the Prussian lancers. Oh, and the French cav comes in to try and save the day, and I think either the French cav or the French infantry there might just help rout their own guns. It's a bit of a shame because they did such a good job in actually just annihilating that unit alone. But there you go, Prussians going in for a gun. Might be a decent trade, you know, it was a pretty large gun piece there. So yeah, it might actually be worth it. It was probably a cheap lancer. Prussians are kind of notorious for having cheap lancers. Oh, a general here. We have Ney moving really, really far forward here. Why is he so far forward? I do not know. I think the player getting a little bit excited there with his general. He is falling him back, which is good to see. Over on this other side over here, we'll have to have a look and see what's going on. We've got a lot of decent units in here. We've got the Gros Hussars, which is a very good Dragoon unit. We've got Lobau as well. Hidden in the forest there. Got more cavalry back here as well. More Dragoons, and the Chevaliers are returning as well, which is great to see. At least one of them is. This one might return as well. Who knows? We've got French infantry forming up in this forest as well. So the plan at this point was, this is a battle we did not too long ago, so I can actually remember what we were doing. But yeah, my army here in Flanders, I was initially going to go and challenge the Prussians in this forest over here. We presumed they were going to come into the forest like Bouleau's corps. Not yet made an appearance, so I have no idea what they're doing. But we're going to instead withdraw, go back across the road here, which we're already getting shelled across, which is not so great. I think that's the British artillery over here, which have a huge artillery position. You can see here, got like 6 guns set up down that road. But yeah, we're going to come back across the road, and the idea was to go through this forest, hit the British and the Prussians in the flank, while this 9-point sort of holds the line. That is sort of the plan here. This 9-point also does have cuirassiers available, because it is the Flanders campaign, so what is supposed to be used in 1815, we are using it a little bit earlier in 1813. And yeah, the cuirassiers here, not historically, would not have been here in this battle. At best, they would have maybe had some light cavalry to support and scout, I'd imagine. Maybe the odd Dragoon, but probably not. I imagine most of those sorts of formations would have been with the Grande Armée at the time. Again, another cav charge. Going for guns here again. I don't think they're going to get this one, though. French cav managed to mop up that Prussian infantry. Oh, sorry, Prussian cavalry. And then the Prussians going in here for French skirmishers, dealing with one Chevalier. French cav kind of going through their own troops to get to that unit there. At least I think they did. No, I don't think they did actually. The French cav actually just withdrew, which is the right thing to do. It would have been a unit cross otherwise. They just relied on the French infantry behind to rout them. Most of the skirms cleared off, and that's going to allow the Prussian infantry and the Russian infantry to move forward. You can see here we've got lots of, I don't even know what these are, like light infantry. These might be KGL or something. I don't know, Prussian light infantry. Lots of Landwehr here as well, glorious to see. Beautiful, beautiful. And then over here we've got more and more dark uniforms of the Prussian army moving forward as they get ready to have a line fight with the French here. France, certainly like 1815, these units are really small. They do not want to be going into a line fight. Like most of them are like 99 or just over 100. It's not the sort of size army you want to have. And here you go. Over here, the Brits have been found as well. They've been routed a little bit, and the French are getting gunned down. I made a requirement that every single unit I brought had to be over 100 men, just to try and, you know, if we did get in a melee like this, we were then going to be able to maybe at least get out the other end, or at least if we even got filmed a little bit, we get some men into the fight. I think this is the only unit I brought that's not a 100-man unit. It's just a little cheap one there. It's got some decent melee stats. Yeah, the British in here do not want to be caught in this forest really against the French, and the plan was just to outflank them. I have just this mass of infantry here. I've even got cavalry coming from Mouton, the Gros Hussars, and I'm going to just flank around. And as you can see, the British are starting to see what the plan is. The French need to just keep moving, keep up with the British. Over on this side, there's also a line fight starting to take place. Mouton here with a lot of infantry. He's got some pretty large units, and he's actually, you know, giving a decent fight to these Prussians here. Still yet to see most of Bülow's corps. Don't really know where he is. Prussians there, dueling quite nicely. And here are more those Russian infantry that I was speaking about. So yeah, the Russian sort of infantry that they had to bring as well, part of the German Legion. I think it's the German Legion, not the Russian Legion. But it's like the German Legion that's part of the... They're officially part of the Russian army, but they're basically like on secondment with the Prussians. We've got have a cuirassier that's gone in. That's some success. It just looks like it's routed some infantry. Not backed up by French infantry at all, but it has sort of, you know, set the tone. And we have got some more of those Russians now appearing. I don't know if they can form square, but they might need to if they're going to be facing off against cuirassiers. And Britain has sort of reformed his line, partly in the forest, partly outside of it. And at this point now, because we can move so quickly down this road, I was saying to this French player here, get as much of your reserves as possible, shift it this way. He's getting just blown up in that building as well. That's sad to see. Unit nearly routing there. And also the building collapsing on the troops marching on by. Also not great. But yeah, I was like, get your troops down the road, start slamming to the side there of the Brits. I'm going to go in. I'll do a frontal assault. You get a side-on assault, and we'll just mop these guys up. I have so many French units in this forest just waiting. We're getting shelled as well by artillery. It's pretty brutal down here. We cannot stay long. We need to get moving. Yeah, just need to wait until the final piece is in position. Now is the time to go. Now is the time to move. Britain is not in a line. He's trying to reorganize his positions. And we need to also get the Dragoons here and the Chevaliers moving as well. Over on the other side here, as you can see, France is having to fight for its life in a cavalry fight here. Some Chasseurs Cheval have won that fight against the Lancers, and the squares have held. And the Prussian Lancers have been got. And the French Cav has got Le Chasseur Cheval in behind, and it might have just got a general here by the looks of it. It looks like it might have got the Prussian general, and that is him gone, and that could be the doom of this Prussian army over on this side here. He's even got a horse artillery here that could easily be grabbable, I feel like, for the chasseurs. Don't know why they haven't thought to go back in. They're very tired, I guess, maybe. Not worth it. This French army now, it outpoints this 7-point Prussia. It should now just go in, and go in hard. Over on this side here, we are seeing Dragoons going in as well. Britain hasn't formed square everywhere here. This is also just to allow the French to get their infantry, and as you can see here go the columns of Frenchies. A classic Britain versus France showdown happening again. Like I said, this is a little ahistorical. Like I said, the Battle of Göhrde, not quite this many Brits. Imagine they're all Hanoverians. There you go, more columns of French going in. Very, very nice. Still some line fighting going on along the line. I mean, really, they should just try and target these Hanoverians going to melee with them. They are going to have less morale and not do so great. Breaking through this first line of Brits, great to see. And we have got the cuirassier as well getting over here. This is the already slightly banged up one. The other one is also pretty banged up actually already as well. Breaking through here, or at least withstanding some Prussian cavalry. Good to see. Columns of French getting forced back there, but they should return 114. That's definitely a returner there. And the Brits again being broken. They don't want to be in melee. They want to stay in a line fight, really. And if they can make gaps, can the French? They can get their they can get the cuirassiers and they can start getting moves off. They've got a Chevalier here as well that also could maybe think about going in and dashing for guns or for generals if they're available. We have got still a little bit of infantry over here as well. Mouton doing some skirmishing. Oh no, this is actually 9-point France skirmishing. And we have got, I think these are troops from Mecklenburg here. These are looking pretty cool. They are also going in. Some Mecklenburg boys here. Part of the huge coalition of troops. We'll come back to look at them in a little bit later. The push continues on over here. Britain's sort of withstanding on this flank here. But we have still got like French infantry just going through the gaps here, and they're going to be able to go in for a charge. Britain here going in a bayonet charge, which works for France. They can then send in more. They do not mind. Still breaking through here as well. Prussia kind of sitting back a little bit as well, being quite docile. Or coming up to support his Prussian ally. Oh, sorry, his British ally. Here go the cuirassiers, though. They're going into the side of that British unit that formed when it's melee. And they can now continue on. They can try and hit this this redlining unit. They probably don't even really need to hit it. It's going to form a square, which is fine. It's going to repulse the cuirassiers. But we have got French infantry here that is falling in on it as well. More French infantry appearing out of the forest. You need to go into melee if they're going to do it. Well, apparently not. They're just going to stand there and look at each other. There you go. Now they go in. Charge, though, here from the Prussians should rout the French, I'd imagine. It's a poor charge there from the French. Don't really know what they were doing. I think he was just getting a little bit too excited on this side. French infantry going in here as well. The cuirassiers have kind of done their bit. They've already pulled back. Don't want to be overcommitted, overspent. Prussian cavalry here trying to repulse this French infantry. Looks like they should really do that. They go routing that easily enough. But the British army here has been decimated between the pincers of two French 9-pointers. To be expected, it's vast outpointage, but it's just really good communication there by the French, and also just being able to use their mobility really well and to great effect. I mean, most of the British forces have gone. There are still a few areas holding out, and actually French units here are being forced back still in some areas. Prussians still going in here with their cavalry. France is going to continue the charge here. Again, routes that British unit. Might be able to affect some of these other ones around them as well. Back over on this side, this fight's still going on. It's sort of pivoted a little bit here. There's Prussia and France still duel it out. This Prussia has no, no general. I was going to say, it has still got an army, just about. Had a little bit of a scare. These dragoons over here have to employ to sort of just defend this general. There's still Prussian cavs sniffing about. But yeah, nothing going on around the 3-pointer, which is actually the objective at the moment right now. Still waiting on Bouleau to sort of make a push. You see him hidden in the forest there. And French cav going in, getting these British guns here, which is a bit of a win. It's a shame that the Chevalier Göhrde aren't going to be able to go and do anything else. It would be nice if they could have gone in and got the general after that, because he was actually kind of for the taking. We are running out of cavalry, light cav especially. Another charge here from the cuirassiers further down the line. Just keeping the Prussians on their toes. And they actually look like they're going to break through. It's not really the Prussians they're fighting. It's the Russians again. And they got through them. Just about. Prussian landwehr here might rout. And we're going to see a response from Prussian hussars coming forward, but they are not going to be able to match those French heavies. No support here for this cuirassier though. There's no French infantry to support it. It is now shifting to French infantry. Whether it's going to shift and then charge into the flank of these Russians, I don't know. Another charge here from the cuirassier going to go in again after the Prussians going further down the line. These guys don't look like they can form square. They're certainly not tried. Oh, there they go. And there go all the cuirassiers rearing up. And squares are stop them, but the French infantry now comes in, and this is a nice good old 1-2 between the French infantry and the cuirassiers. As Napoleon says at Waterloo, you cannot send in the cavalry without infantry support, and he does exactly that here today. This is the French commander. Really effectively, actually. And the French are going to continue on. They're going to get this British gun here. Another win. They are going to get the, look at that, like pincered from two different angles from Prussian cavalry. Those poor Frenchmen. The price for getting that gun, which they didn't actually even rout in the end. Unfortunately, more French infantry now setting up to try and blast these Prussians. A volley coming in there, actually from the artillery, smacking into the Prussian cavalry as well. And that's routed everything there. That might rout this Prussian infantry as well, seeing their own cavalry rout beside them. Nope, there go the French instead. We are now seeing a line fight around the 3-point. The boys of Mecklenburg dueling it out. Not sure what this unit is. It looks like some like Frankfurt infantry or something like that. So it looks like some like minor German nation. Or Mecklenburg troops. Yeah, these guys are okay. There's a lot of mass. I wouldn't say they were like quality troops. And they're just kind of ignoring the trilliers here, which is kind of funny. In comes more Allied cavalry. This is from Boulot. He's going in for the dragoons here, the Gros Hussars. He's not going to get away, unfortunately. Great shame. And he's going to rout the Gros Hussars, which is a shock because they're a really good unit. Well, maybe he's not. Maybe he's going to hold on. He's winning just about. Yeah, winning slightly. So we are going to see support though maybe in a moment. I don't know, or French infantry here might charge in or get a volley off. They don't really want to get a volley off though. They might end up routing the Hussars. And there you go. The Dragoons just about win. Which are also called Hussars, the Gros Hussars. There you go. Yeah, the Hussars also win. That's a shame. Real shame. Over here, look, this battle is just going backwards and forwards here right now. I mean, yeah, Mouton doesn't really seem to have the capabilities as a 5-point to just finish off this the 7-point right now. Even if he has no general. Doesn't seem to have that capability. He's busy trying to keep his general alive as well. We've still got that Cheval over here trying to be of use. I think there is still another Dragoon knocking about. Or maybe not, I don't know. Yeah, both sides lacking cavalry now, just looking at a good old infantry brawl. Whether the French could just go in, just try and slam into some of these Prussians. I mean, this is a pretty good infantry. The Russians as well, probably reasonable, to be honest. Well, they're probably going to be able to hold their own. Yeah, not looking like there's a lot of land there here. And here we go. Finally, the Prussians look like they are going into the town to maybe contest the actual 3-point and the actual objective of today's game. Britain has also reformed a bit of a line. Having no cavalry to sort of chase them down and make sure that they can be finished off is not helped us. It's hindered us for sure. The only cavalry we do have is the sledgehammer that is the cuirassiers. Still sledgehammering Prussians. They are getting infantry support though, at least this time. And yeah, there you go. The Prussians are retreating in their dozens. Then come some more French infantry. Bayonets twirling. Decent volley just before they collided there. The cuirassiers, I mean, they're going to go for the guns, I think, actually. We're going to try and get a last-minute volley off. Fire! Oh, that was decent, you know, actually hitting those cuirassiers, getting some good kills on them. Still holding those strong. There you go, they're going to get in. I mean, they're exhausted as this unit. They should at least unlimber it and then force it to stay here. And they might rout it as well, who knows. But Prussia's still sort of in the game at the moment as well. They managed to rout quite a lot of these Prussians over here, but nothing to chase them down. A lot of these units might return, to be honest, looking relatively healthy. And I mean, if the French had like one light cannon, some of these generals could have taken the Prussian one, especially big gap here that could have been exploited. At this point, I then got the order to turn around and go back the other way. And I'm now going to go and deal with Boulot. Who, again, I'm fighting more British up here. Everywhere I go, it's Brits, Brits, Brits. Like I said, not very historical, but we move past it. Laguerre setting up. These are the sort of troops, the light infantry that you want to challenge the Brits. The only guys that have maybe got even a slight shooting capability to deal with them. And apparently they're not going to fire, so we'll come back to them another day. France over here still battling away. Prussia is now contesting the 3-point. Sappers over here as well. I'm surprised these aren't in the building. What did they actually put in there? Oh, some line infantry. Sappers still battling here. It's the best thing we have for Grenadiers. They've lost 44 out of 77. They're going to get farmed down as well. Low is the responsible party for sort of pushing the 3-point right now. France could do with a little bit more infantry in here just to help with meleeing. This is the sort of area, space that they want to be in. Artillery still firing here as well. We've got 12 pounders just on this road here, and they're just chewing up the Mecklenburg infantry. You can see a lot of dead. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of dead Mecklenburg infantry here. That's definitely from artillery, I think, more than anything. We are now seeing the French columns move forward, though. They've been given the order. they're going to start going in, and they're going to get charged, I think, right about now. Yeah, they're running. And we just go into melee. And if they can hit these Mecklenburg infantry at an angle, which they are, they can then go down the line. And I'm going to hopefully get support, yeah, from Mouton, who's also bringing forward infantry. He's going to take the frontal assault and occupy the Prussians there, so they can't turn their lines and shoot my infantry in the flanks. Again, we rout the Prussian, or the Germans, I should say. They're not really Prussians at all. Not yet. Got the cousins of the Emperor and some more Legate here, just dealing with the Brits. In we go again. My army and Mouton's linking up. And again, routing more Mecklenburg troops. And that really is just the collapse of that line there of Bülow's troops. But these Frankfurters here, they're going to get charged. It's like rolling back the years. The Grande Armée right now with the French. There you go, a nice easy victory there as well in the forest. They're not quite finished it, but we're going to see a Chasseur Cheval. They're going to go in. They're going to finish the job. Oh, slamming into the faces of those Germans there. Very nice indeed. And at that point, I didn't really need to be over here anymore. I was like, whoa, we're kind of finished now. Now Mouton is freed up, and he can start to swing his infantry to help against the 7-point here. Bülow, I just don't really know where his army is, to be honest. It's got like, it's got a few troops scattered here and there, but it does seem like mostly it's the 7-point over on this side here. Bülow is also a 7-point, so he should be able to bring equally just as much. I think it's a pretty strong core, to be honest. And they're going into the building here, the Russians. I can't see them taking it, but if anyone's going to do it, it will be the Russians. They've got some pretty good melee stats. We have got more French here ready to dive in at a moment's notice. Whether the French could push forward here, they are just side shooting, which is just equally as safe. There's some 3 kills here onto these Prussians. And another general has died. Whose general has died there? I think that must be Bülow. Oh yeah, it is. It's Bülow. Let's go. The chasseurs here charge them down. Drouot's chasseurs, very, very nice. And now, yeah, that's pretty much like my contribution over here. Is like I was now like, well, I guess I'll go back against the British and the Prussians over here, which there is definitely more of them than this. I think just not Pathfinder, sorry, Fog of War. It's just not allowing us to see everything. As you can see, yeah, more British appearing by the second over here. A lot of them are still the Hanoverians, though, which are definitely going to be lacking morale. And seeing army losses probably coming into play, they are probably not happy either. Yep. At this point in time, we were getting quite confident. We were like, if we could just deal with this left flank here, which we're slowly doing as well. You can see Mouton is flanking on around here. Then we could then get the troops from the left to then come over and support the right. Because we've had a lot of fighting over on that side. The cuirassiers are pretty much gone, pretty much spent. And we have no cavalry ready to do anything. So we're going to need a lot of infantry to charge those remaining British lines. But ideally, we don't want too many losses over here. Yeah, some beautiful volleys there, doing a lot of damage to these Prussians. Like I said, lacking morale with no general, and they have for a long time. Impressive that they've lasted this long. They're turning their flank here, which also is kind of their doom, because these units here can now just charge into their side. And slowly this Prussian line is going to start to crumble. Mouton should just move forward. He shouldn't even be stopping to shoot. Just get into melee. There you go, the Prussian line is collapsing. And that is going to be GG on that flank, it seems. That is pretty much them dealt with. I think Bülow still has a few troops scattered about. Yeah, there's some Brits over here that haven't been dealt with. I've managed to deal with one, but there's still another resistant British force here. Yeah, I think all we have for cavalry left is the cuirassier here. 51 of them left. Still an effective unit, that's for sure. A scary unit. And the French went in bravely there with 1 unit against 3. And we have the other cuirass actually as well. These both are still alive. There's still 90 cuirassiers left. Just, if you put the 2 units together, a scary amount of cuirassiers. But yeah, looks like right now, history is going to be changed. Looks like France is going to defeat the coalition here. And maybe, you know, change history. Whether this would do much in the great outcome of, you know, the 1813 campaign, I doubt it. Probably because, well, the big battles are where it kind of is decided. These smaller ones aren't really going to do too much. I guess it might mean that Hanover would have stayed in control a little bit longer. The cuirassiers there have been destroyed. It's allowed the sappers to get in. Like I said, one of the few units we could use as a grenadier, since we weren't allowed to bring the guard. And it's an expensive grenadier, it's like 600. There you go. Looks like most of the Prussians have been defeated, but there's still so many. Like I said, the fog of war just kind of hides them, but there was a lot of Prussians still left. Like I said, quite a few returned, and even some Brits over on this flank. And Boulot's even bringing over some artillery from his flank. Kind of crazy how much is over here. This is a big horse gun. It's going to set up, and I guess it's going to start blasting some stuff. I mean, this is a problem for the French. The French don't really have much in the way of artillery. We have some left, but it can't move. We really got to rely on our like lines just to keep on fighting around. This is absolutely blasting these poor Russians over there as well. I've just seen that beautiful volley. Russians there still fighting up. Yeah, I think most of these redcoats are all KGL units as well. So they've like these are decent units. Like well, like the actual redcoats that aren't landwehr like these troops. But yeah, if you've been enjoying the video, feel free to support in any way possible. If you want to see more NTW3 battles, then do make sure you hit that sub button and hit the notification bell as well, so you don't miss out on any NTW3 action. We do a stream every Monday at the moment, and it's yeah, we often do like either a scenario or do a couple of customs or something like that. They're a good laugh. There's a lot of brain rot that always goes on, but it is a load of fun. And this was what from actually a stream battle as well. If you ever want to take part in any streams as well, then make sure to join the Discord to get involved in the regular weekly games that we play. You're looking to, you know, get involved in some NTW3 action. That is the best place to go. Can France catch the Prussians on the march here? No, probably not. Looks like they are just about going to set up in time.
Orders understood.
Orders understood. At least the artillery is still being able to be used. The 8-pounder there is actually still shredding the Russians here. Targeting them in particular, it seems. Orange lining them as well. I am a sort of getting myself into position, maneuvering myself into position to try and deal with the Brits one last time here. I have got my ally Mouton as well coming down the road. He also can bring artillery if he wants to. Fortunately, I think one of his artillery units was sort of bugged out. Still, looks really cool actually. Like the French in the back there, the gun marching on by, looking very cool. Maybe a screenshot worthy sort of shot that. Yeah, here they go. They're going to go straight down the road, and they should be there in no time at all because the French units are pretty damn speedy. One of the bonuses that the French have, they can zip around the battlefield so quickly. That's the Napoleonic doctrine. Yeah, France is sort of just going to keep just harassing the Brits, just wait on their allies. I try to move forward here. This, as you're going to see in a moment, is a bit of a disaster. Artillery volley in a moment here, getting some nice canister shots. The second one there is going to destroy the morale with volleys there. Destroy the morale of these units. And I try to go for a charge here, and I was like, oh, I shouldn't go for that. My units are already routing, and that is also going to rout. I think it's that fourth unit there. Most of these should return, though. Certainly that 107-man unit and some of these other ones. The skirms here, they're just going to keep harassing the landwehr. They're already doing damage. They're orange lining here. But here comes my ally. He's bringing up plenty of reserves. I'm going to need all these troops here just to, go for this final push. And me and my ally might do them because also my allies, I feel like in a bit of a deadlock right now with the Prussians. He's got no cavalry left. He's got his general. I thought Ney was going to go in for a charge. I thought, you know what? Maybe he was going to go for it. Sappers here, they are definitely his sort of answer to try and break through the infantry lines. And here we go. Columns are forming. Columns allow you to move faster if you don't know an NTW3. This is why he's gone into column. See the boys going out. I love the officer as well. I like his helmet. It's like a fireman's helmet almost. Going in. The sappers. They're redlining for a bit, but they're sort of getting up there. Holding on. Infantry here also struggling. It's going to be... Oh, the sappers are routed immediately. Oh, that's not good. And you can see immediately French players like, I'm not sending in a single extra man. Yeah, he's riding on this flank as well here. And just like that, 5 units broke for him. And he's now going to be forced to retreat. He can't stand his ground there. We're like, just retreat back to this other, to this 3-pointer here, or this 1-pointer here, sorry. And just hold there if you need to. Use the guns if you need to as well. The guns currently are blasting British positions over here. And yeah, at this point I was like, Mouton, you take the right flank, you just fall on the flank here of the Brits, and we will deal the remains of this sort of pesky little force. Don't know what the other Mouton's doing. I think he's on his way. Don't think he'll be needed though. More columns falling up here. Then my plan was just basically just to stretch the Brits and just kind of just go around the guns. The guns can't be everywhere. If I keep stretching the Brits and just keep going wide and wide, they'll either reposition their guns, or I'll find a chink in the line and I'll just go in with my infantry there. Got a big body of infantry here waiting to really just go down the center. And I'll see in a moment, I don't know if I've go for it yet, but these units here, they can kind of just charge this infantry unit here straight on. The guns are looking elsewhere, and also this unit is kind of blocking the line of sight of the guns. Cannons right now are busy firing at this blob of infantry here that Mouton's forming up, and he's going to go forward. And here we go. I give my men the green light, and I'm like, we better start moving forward. A load of light infantry as well, so they should be speedy in getting there. Not ideally the best units to send into melee, but at this point in the game, can't be choosers really. Just got to send in any man that's willing to go in. Here we go. I think they're just going to move forward, actually. They're going to just get a volley off. Nope, we should just go straight in, to be honest. Jean Bonnet. Very healthy light infantry. And yeah, look at that, actually. These guys are redlining. I think that's from the skirms. Yeah, the skirms actually here. Might rout these guys themselves. The guns... Where are they? They are turning. Try and face off against my infantry here, but I'm just going to go straight on in. We can't slow down. Mouton also needs to charge into this point. Very nice charge. Volley goes off. The canister shot, I don't even think it actually hits my troops. Kind of misses. There you go, rout the gun. Ah, that's a full collapse here of this landwehr line of Hanoverians.
Your men have been routed, sir.
And we're going to go into the other Hanoverians on this flank here. Now we just need to make sure that these guys don't return. Give them a good old bit of cold steel, boys. Cold steel. Yeah, there you go. The light infantry going in, and they are clearing up the job there. And we're going to go in for the guns here as well. Make sure those Prussian guns can't get a volley off. Oh, just about. They were about to fire there. And then go the French here into the British infantry. Over on this side here, you can still see these 8-pounders being used very effectively, blasting away at those infantry there. France has pretty much fallen back to the 3.8. Either Mouton can come down the road and support there if he wants to, which it looks like he's not bothering. So they're just going to leave the 9.8 to just finish his dinner himself. Final few units here are Brits that need to just be defeated. The British general for some reason is running away. But yeah, the final sort of standoff is over here with a couple of British units and some Prussians against the remains of the 9-point. There you go, France. I mean, if Prussia goes in for a melee charge here, France might be able to take it. It looks like France is actually going to take the offensive here. Got a pretty healthy infants of Paris going in. 103 men. Landwehr there trying to get a volley off. Didn't manage it. And they're going to go into the Russians here. Russians actually, the Russians here are being aggressive. They're going into the French here, or at least some of them are. The rest of the guys just kind of turn around. Got shot as they went in. France is going to continue his melee charge here. This is a bit of an odd charge, I won't lie. From the Prussians, there is the French pretty well coordinated. Oh, some fimming going on there from the Prussians. Need to be careful about that. Been a pretty clean game though up until now, from what I've seen. Wouldn't say there's much in the way of fimming going on or pulling through or anything like that. Or unit crossing, that's the word I'm looking for. I always forget that term. The infantry going in here, going to take the sacrifice, take the front of the charge. Other infantry here can just go for the side charge. The Prussian general could go into melee if he fancied it. He might as well. And there you go, getting charged by French infantry. As it seems like the Battle of the Gohrde is going to go very, very differently. We're going to see a defeat for the coalition. The general there gets killed off. There you go, Brits routed. And that should be GG then. I think we're going to see a general charge in here. British general. I guess this is why he's keeping him alive, because he had some British units over there supporting. I guess that's why he was evacuating him. A volley here, though, from the Voltigeurs would be very nice right now. They could get some very good kills. Never really charged skirmishes head on. It usually ends pretty badly, and there you go. This general here routes. That should be pretty much GG, I think. Looks like there's a small force of Bülow infantry over here that's been defeated as well. And there you go. We should have the end results on your screen now for you to admire and have a look at. I'm pretty sure I did pretty well. I think I got second most kills. G got like well over 2,000 kills, so well done to him. But well done to all the players. I think the Allies did a pretty decent job as well. I was surprised they didn't contest the building much more and try and go for that, but I guess maybe they just didn't want to go into too much of a melee fight with France. But yeah, I think we just played a really good game, really well coordinated. The 5 points did a really good job just holding that left flank mostly on their own. Vastly outpointed, to be honest. It really helped killing that Prussian general early on. It really limited the capabilities of that Prussian army, which otherwise I think would have been able to just smash through the 5 points. And whilst myself and G over on the other side with the 2 9s managed to just, you know, clear up the Brits and the Prussians, kind of keep dealt with the Brits to start with pretty heavily, then managed to go back, deal with Bülow, and then come back again and finish the Brits and the Prussians off once and for all. But yeah, hopefully you had a good look at the end results there. We'll have a quick look at some of the kills. Got Jean Bonnet there, getting 179 kills, did very well. Another one of my Laguerre getting 165 kills. Funnily enough, 2 units that didn't even make it to 100 men to start with. So I just must have brought those and was like, yeah, we need more shooters. We're going to need them against Britain. We've got 105 kills with some more of our line infantry. But yeah, nothing too crazy, I would say. But yeah, there are the rest of the kills if you want to have a look at those. But yeah, I felt like it was a pretty solid game. I was very happy with how we did in that one. But yeah, thank you to everyone that took part in the battle. And yeah, thank you for those that watched. If you want to see more NTW3 battles, then you know what to do. Hit that like button, subscribe, comment, all that shenanigans. And feel free to hit that notification bell as well if you want to see any more sort of lives and also battles. And also, you can check out the battles appearing on your screen now. But until next time, thank you again. Bye for now.